Hello, soul family. Welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Once again, I've been journaling. Well, I'm always journaling, but I'm going to read and go over some stuff that I put into my journal and share my journey with you, as I always do. And the reason that I do this is because we're all going through this beautiful awakening process. And there are some people out there that are very new to this process, and they're searching YouTube and other social sites and, Google, asking questions as to why they feel this way or they feel that way. Or maybe they're talking to their best friend or their lover or their parents, and they're like, I don't understand why I'm feeling this pain in my body or this emotion in my body. So I've decided to create this YouTube channel to share with you guys my journey so that you know you're not going through this alone. There are many of us out there that are going through this. Even though you may not be experiencing the same exact thing that I'm experiencing, it may be very similar, and you may be able to resonate with it, and you resonating to it may help you in some kind of way. It may code you, it may lift your vibration, or validate something that you're going through. Also, I would like to say, if you are listening to this video, it's because you were guided here, and also it's because you are part of my soul family, and I want to say welcome. Okay, so I want to talk about creating and manifesting. When you start to get into higher consciousness or see a different perspective about situations, you see the bigger picture, or you see a clearer picture. You'll see that everything is working in your favor if you're willing to see, in a different perspective, or if you're willing to expand your mind enough to come out of your box. Okay? You're not going to see anything if you remain in the box and if you remain closed-minded. So if you want to come out of your box and you're willing to open your mind and expand your awareness, expand your consciousness, you'll see that everything that's happening around you is working in your favor. Even everything that seems to be working against you is actually working in your favor. You won't be so rigid or narrow-minded. Your awakening will change your mentality by expanding your consciousness, and also expanding your awareness. Remember, you're a soul having a human experience. So expanding your consciousness and your awareness is, I feel, part of the journey. It's part of having this human experience. You won't be so ego-driven or closed-minded and judgmental if you're willing to see different perspectives about situations, and if you're willing to open your mind and expand your awareness and expand your consciousness. You won't be so ego-driven or judgmental or closed-minded, like I just mentioned. For instance, when you expand your awareness and you drop your ego and you live in a higher consciousness, you vibrate higher, you'll be able to accept that you are here to learn, that you're here for a reason and you're here to learn, that Earth is a school. And when you experience something that you would consider to be a really horrible situation, you'll be able to drop the judgment and the finger pointing and the blame and the victimization, and see the situation in a different perspective, to see the lesson, the learning experience. For example, say you're in a relationship, and I'm going to use a relationship as an example because I think it's more relatable. And I think I've used this same example in some of my past videos because this is like one of my favorite examples because it's so relatable. So, for example, say you're in a relationship and your partner cheated on you. You'll probably go into this victim mode, and you'll feel like the universe hates you, and you'll feel like the universe keeps sending you these toxic men or women or people, when in fact it has nothing to do with you, even though it hurts. It has nothing to do with you, even though it feels like it does, but it has nothing to do with you. And that's why I'm asking you, if you're willing to change your perspective, and if you're able to be open-minded, if you're willing to expand your awareness, you'll see that it has nothing to do with you, and you'll be able to see why. The person that cheated has self-worth issues. That has nothing to do with you. This action of being unfaithful is something they have to work out themselves. It has nothing to do with you. It's their lesson, not yours. Even though you may learn something from it, ultimately, it's their lesson. Even though it feels like it was something that happened to you. If you can change your perspective and see this action in a different light, it may give you more clarity. Like maybe it's their karmic energy they created. Or maybe, just maybe it is your lesson. It could be a lesson in manifesting and the way that you manifest. It's a manifesting lesson, possibly, for you. Maybe you manifested this situation to be triggered. It's possible you have a soul contract with this person that cheated on you. Maybe the trigger was set in place to activate some kind of subconscious belief that needs to be worked out or worked through. Maybe you think everyone you date will cheat on you, so that is what you're manifesting. You got to be careful of your thoughts and how you feel. You should always be aware of how you're feeling. You should always be aware of what you're thinking. Don't let your thoughts control you. Don't let them think for you. You have to learn to be conscious of how you feel and what you're thinking and what you're saying at all times. This is not something that happens overnight. It's not easy. It's something that you have to work on every single day, and you have to remind yourself constantly to always keep your thoughts and your words and your feelings in check. You always want to keep your vibration high because you don't want to manifest some fucked up shit. I mean, you can really manifest a lot of bad stuff, and then you have to work through all that shit that you manifested. So, just be cautious of what you're manifesting, because this situation of the example of the cheating lover could be something. It could possibly be a lesson for you, a lesson on how you manifest. So back to manifesting and being mindful of what you're thinking and what you're saying and what you're feeling. This cheating that occurred, this fictional cheating, this example of cheating that may be going on in your life, could be a lesson for you, or could be, maybe it has nothing to do with you. Maybe it has something to do with the person that you were dating, but it could have something to do with you. And if it is a lesson in how to manifest, this situation may have come up in your reality. And you may be attracting these type of people into your reality, these type of lovers, because it may be something that you believe in. You believe that if you date, a person, if you date this man, he's probably going to cheat on you like the last man. Or if you date this woman, she's probably going to cheat on you like the last woman. So if you believe like that, you're putting that energy out there. And if that's what you believe at a subconscious level, it's going to keep happening. You're going to keep attracting these men and these women into your life until you become aware of what you're doing, until you become aware of the patterns and the triggers. All of these patterns and triggers are all put in place for you so you can start your healing. But you have to be aware of it. You have to be aware of these triggers. You have to be aware of these patterns. And if you're a person that's listening to this, and if you just had your aha moment, now that you had your aha moment and you realize that this could be a lesson for you, maybe it has something to do for you, maybe it is a lesson for you. Now that you're aware of it, you can start healing. And if you didn't have that aha moment and this is something that you are going through, maybe this lesson isn't for you. It is a soul contract that you made with this other person that you're dating, and this is something that they have to deal with. That's why multiple perspectives are good to run through. That's why it's good to just not be stuck on one thing. It's good to have an open mind. It creates awareness. It expands your mind, and this expansion may help with your healing. If you can expand with a cup full kind of attitude instead of, cup half full, a cup half empty. You don't want to have that, oh, my cup's half empty attitude. You want to have that attitude of my cup's half full. Because that's that's when we are creating and manifesting in every aspect of our life, when we're positive and we vibe high. Here's another example, something that has nothing to do with dating. For example, and I'm going to use my life. My dad is a diabetic. I believe it's type 1. He has to take a shot. You'd think I would know this because I've been taking care of him for a while. So 2.5 years ago, his pancreas shut down after he spent 2 months in a coma, and he was on life support. He was in the ICU because he did not take care of himself, or, take care of his dis-ease that actually disrupted all of his body, a lot of his organs, and it actually turned into a disease, an actual disease, something that's very hard to cure once it gets past being a dis-ease. A dis-ease is something that you're aware of that's causing some imbalance in your life and in your body. And if you make some healthy choices and changes, it's a possibility that you can reverse, the harm that dis-ease is causing. But if you ignore the symptoms of something that is causing a dis-ease, a disruption in your life, it's going to turn into a disease, and then it's going to, harm a lot of your body, your nervous system, your organs, stuff like that. So my dad didn't take care of himself, and he did not take care of his dis-ease, which turned into a disease. And I see that this process is happening for a reason, a lesson. And it's not a pleasant one either. Being on my journey has taught me how to see. And not just see with my eyes, but see with my heart, see with my energy, see with my mind's eye. I'm able to see and feel beyond my physical, if that makes sense. And I see this on a soul level. Even though ego is hard to block out, I manage to do it. So I continue to see this on a soul level, to see my lesson. And it's not just my lesson. He has his own lesson he's going through, and I can see the lesson that he's going through. I'm aware that this is a lesson for me, but I'm also aware and I can see that this is a lesson for him. It's a lesson for both of us. And that's a blessing, if you ask me, because not a lot of people are consciously aware of what's actually going on around them. So I see my lesson and I can see his lesson. This transformation is a necessary process for him on a physical level. It had to happen. Everything that happened to him had to happen. My dad lives in the past. He literally lives in the past. He lives in his feelings, through memories. He lives in the past. He doesn't live in the moment. He doesn't live, he kind of lives in the future too, because he's always planning, but he mostly lives in the past. He holds on to the pains of his past, and he holds on to regrets from his past. I feel that this dis-ease is worse now because he did not heal from past life trauma. He is stubborn, very egotistical. He's judgmental. He experiences emotional abuse, or he has experienced emotional abuse, but he has also been emotionally abusive. He is he's depressed. He's always been, even before this thing that happened to him, he's always been depressed because he lives in the past. His energy is out of alignment. It's not balanced. He now has a form of Alzheimer's disease. It's I'm not sure of the medical name of it or the medical term, but it's like diabetes dementia. And dementia is a dimension jumping dis-ease. He spends more time in the past and the future and not enough time in the present moment. This disease will create a domino effect of illnesses in the body because the brain neurons are wacky. You know, at this point, they're wacky. He's most likely past the point of healing. He may become aware as he gets closer to his transition stage. But I don't know, anything can change. Anything can happen. Hopefully that does not happen anytime soon. That would be very sad. But I see that this is a lesson for him. So I honor it, and I'm grateful that I can see my lesson and his. It's really a blessing. And I feel like I have these huge angel wings that expand, and they grow bigger and bigger every time I go to his house. I feel like I'm gaining a new feather in my wings or something. And it's only because I have this awareness of what's going on. It's just like an etheric feeling that I get. I do see that there are a few changes in him since my husband and I took over his care. He's becoming grateful. I've never seen my father as a grateful person. And he's never been like I appreciate what you do for me. I thank you for doing this for me. He's never been grateful. He's always just expected people to do things for him. And he's always expected people to be there for him. But since my husband and I have been taking care of him, I've seen working through his emotions, because he could be pretty rude and pretty demanding. So we had to kind of like talk to him about that. And the more that we brought that to his awareness, to his attention, he's become more of a grateful person. And he says it a lot that he's grateful. He's never pledged his gratitude or anything to me or anyone that I'm aware of. I mean, he may have, but not that it's nothing that I'm like sitting here thinking like, oh yeah, I can remember Dad being like that. He wasn't like that. He's always been kind of, like demanding and kind of mean, I guess. He's a good guy, but he could be pretty mean. He could be a meanie. A meanie. He's a mean one. Mr. Grinch. um, so witnessing that he's becoming grateful, that shows me that he has anchored into the present long enough to feel, that emotion of being grateful. And that emotion may bring awareness to him about his life, creating healing that he hopefully won't, have to be healed in the next life. Hopefully he can find healing in this lifetime so he doesn't have to live through the next lifetime going through some karmic lessons or past life experiences. This has also been very educational for me at a soul level. It sped up a lot of emotional healing for me. It helped me understand that I'm not a victim. He's not a victim. It showed me that I'm still a student and I'll always be a student. It showed me he's a teacher and sometimes I'm the teacher. But I'm always learning, and taking care of a disabled adult has healed me a lot. Has healed a lot. It's taught me how to forgive. It's taught me how to love unconditionally. I was once a person that lived in my past that thought that the universe hated me as well. When in fact the universe loves me so much that I was gifted all of these challenges in my life. And not just, the experiences or the examples I was talking about in this video, but, all of the challenges that I've ever experienced in life to make me the awesome human being that I am today. I'm one of those people that I now make lemonade out of lemons. The lemons life. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Before I was like one of those people that when life gave me lemons, I was like, wow, fuck. And I was bitter. So I'm just like, I'm changing. So it's helped me a lot. And I've learned to expand my awareness and see the glass half full, because I was always the opposite. I was always like, oh man, like the glass half empty. I was always I was always worrying. I was always negative. A lot of negative energy. I was always negative. Like I could never look at a situation and find the positive. I was always like, but what if? And then I would prepare myself for those what ifs instead of just waiting to see what happens, because those what ifs may never even come up. And by being so negative, ultimately I was just manifesting negative shit into my life. So I've learned to look at life as, my glass is half full kind of attitude, and accept that, the earth is my school, and what hurts on a physical level will heal me, on a soul level. And that's huge. That's like huge. So basically, that's all I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. Was to, go through my journal and share with you what I wrote about creating and manifesting. And I hope that that this video, this audio resonates with at least one person. So really quick before I end this video, I am still doing the angel and tarot readings by donation only. I'm still doing numerology readings, and they are $11.11. I use Cash App. I know that PayPal is on my videos, but I don't really want to use PayPal. But I mean, if that's what you have, I'll accept it. I do prefer Cash App, and I'll put all my information down below. I still have merch. I have Witchy Vibes 11 merch, and I have We Are Making Cosmic History merch, The Age of Aquarius. And what else? What else? I feel like there was more stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about or bring up. I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to talk about. All right, guys and gals, souls, I love you.